Miami Dolphins fans, welcome back to another episode of what used to be LG shaking the panel. Now it's Larry, Lucci, G, and Shake. The channel continues to evolve, and the Miami Dolphins continue to not evolve. So, what are we doing? I don't know. I hope you guys had a good Super Bowl. Look, to all our loyal subscribers, all of our members on this channel, we appreciate you. We love you. We are here for you. We are not going anywhere. I told you we weren't going anywhere. Now, I've had a very busy, crazy couple weeks. Had a photo gallery that went up, had a lot of things going on. I have to travel for business all the way down to the Carolinas this coming week. I got a lot going on, but I talked to G. I talked to Shake. We're going to do an off-season lineup for you guys. My Monday show is going to come back. I'm going to be doing a podcast every Monday discussing Dolphins football. That might not get going till March, but it's coming. The column for the members is coming up. If you're not a member yet, click join below and explore our membership options. You 100% should and could become an official member of the Fury Fam and join us. And we'd love for you to join the membership and become an official member of the channel, just like this cat right here, to his side hotline, Michael K. If there's one thing me and Michael K have in common, it's that we continually keep falling short of the ultimate goal, that is winning a Super Bowl. But if there's one thing me and Michael K don't have in common, it's the actual fortitude and actual elite quarterback play to maybe get us there some point at some time. What we have seen, and it's good to see you, Michael K, man. Cap, it's good to see you. Dolphinier, it's good to see everybody. It took a little bit of time. I'm finding my bearings again. I'm coming back. I'm going to take a little bit more time after this show to try to find my footing and come back for a good off-season program. We're going to discuss things. I find it interesting with this team how you had an offensive collapse at the end of the year. Defense riddled with injuries, did well. Yet all we hear about nonstop so far this offseason is all the changes on the defense we're doing, right? Wholesale changes. No more defensive coordinator. He's swapping out the linebackers coach. Bye-bye, Anthony Campanelli. Have fun. Guess we didn't like you. Goodbye, Sam Madison. Thank you for being a friggin' legend. We don't need you. We got Tua and Mike McDaniel. So we're good. Doesn't matter that the defense was the only thing holding this team together at the end. We're going to spin the narrative how we're going to spin the narrative. And the Miami Dolphins are going to do what the Miami Dolphins do. Flip, flip-a-roo, and do nothing when it matters. Carrie D, great to see you. Happy Fat Tuesday. I can't even believe it's Fat Tuesday because the year is flying by. Another year with no Dolphins playoff wins. Another year as we fly through February in the winter, and it snowed here a lot today. There was snow all over the ground. And all of a sudden, we're headed towards Easter. What on earth is going on? Spring camp's going to come. We got the new coaching staff on the defensive side of the ball. Of course, not on the offensive side of the ball, because this team doesn't usually do what makes sense. It does the opposite, a 180 of what makes sense. The antithesis of sense-making is the Miami Dolphins. Carrie, good to see you nonetheless. An official Fury Fan member, by the way. You can become an official member if you click join. Hit the like button. Click the subscribe button. I told you we weren't going anywhere this year, and I got to be honest with you guys. I have a heart-to-heart with you. I'll talk to you real as I can. Jason, another Fury Fan member in the building. What's up, my brother? I hope all is well with you. I hope all is well with you, my brother. Another official Fury Fan member. Mark, what's good, bro? Spitting truth here. I'll be honest with you. This is the truth. I get involved with the Dolphins. I'm a huge Dolphins fan. I've been a Dolphins fan since I was a little tyke. I love the Dolphins. A significant portion of my life and energy and emotion is invested in the Miami Dolphins. I fly down to Florida. I got family in Florida. I come to games. I spend tailgate time with people. I made lifelong friends by virtue of having this channel. Friends from New England like G. Friends from the west coast of Florida. He's from Miami, like Shake, Carol City. Friends like, Anthony. Friends like all of you out there who are members of this channel, who are loyal subscribers, who stick with me. I stick with the Dolphins. I love the Dolphins. But every year around this time, reality sets in. And that's the reality that the Dolphins have once again failed me. The reality that they really weren't even close. And it gets to a point where life goes on, right? The year ticks on, January, February, March, the spring's approaching. Fat Tuesday, Easter, Memorial Day, summer barbecues. And it's hard for me. I'll be honest with you guys as a Dolphins fan. Because you guys, I think there's a lot of you that feel the same. That's why the viewership goes down on every channel. That's where Lucci, I don't even know where Lucci is. I haven't talked to him in weeks. That's what happens this time of year. Because we who are realistic, we who have a semblance of objectivity in our analytical capabilities, we find it very difficult this time of year to stay invested in the Miami Dolphins, because the Miami Dolphins always let us down. And this is that time of year. It's the moment of clarity. It's like a dude after what for 10 minutes when he can actually think straight. You know what I'm talking about? Where the motivation and the vehement pursuit no longer means what it used to mean. For that split time, this is my dude right here. Mark says he dumped the other channels and subscribed to Larry K. You know why? Because he's going to keep it real, even if it's painful. Mark, the Swede, he's going to stick to what's real and what makes sense. Brother, I appreciate you. If you guys have not yet subscribed, click subscribe. If you have not become a member, click join down here and see what your options are. There's going to be a lot during the offseason. I just need to get my bearings. I need to get my mind straight after the Dolphins screwed me once again, and I will have that program for you. I promise. Brother, thanks for rocking with us. I know you got Cosa Nostra. You're a good dude. I love you. You're a great dude, Cosa. But I don't buy that nonsense. Just another excuse in a long line of excuses that never end. They go on in an infinite perpetuity. Around this time of year, I find it hard to invest emotionally, to invest logically, to expend any amount, expend is the right word, any amount of psychological or physical or emotional energy on this franchise around this time of year, because this team continually lets me down. And at this point, when I spoke of that moment of clarity, this is what I mean. At this point in the year, it's hard for me to lie to myself or to get hyped up and expect anything different next year. At this point in the year, I'm very clear. I'm very objective. Q, what's good, my brother? I'm very objective, and I can't lie to myself. And it's hard for me to get excited about a franchise that I know just screwed me a month ago, and that right now I know is going to screw me a year from now. And come September, August, I'm going back down to practice. I'm back in my aqua gear. It's football season. We got 17 games to watch. I'll get back into it. But I always find it hard right now at this time of year to actually care about the Miami Dolphins because I already know, and there's no lying to myself this time of year, about where we are, where we've been, and where we are going. You have a franchise that is clearing out their defensive staff, that is uncluttering everything on the defensive side, bringing in new defensive people, probably going to wind up jettisoning defensive key players, as if the defense on this team was the problem. And I can't sit around and pretend that I am cool with that or that makes sense to me, because it doesn't. So we are going to go through another off season of many of the same things we've gone through in the past. We are going to go through another off season of moves and glitz and glamour and illusions. And illusions is two different words. A and I mean different things, but they go to the same place. To get us hyped up and excited for next year, when we already kind of have a semblance of an idea of where next year is going. And so it takes me some time. And Color, what's good, my brother? He says his days of coddling sycophants is over. And I'm quite glad to hear that. Two aside, saying hi to people out here. Carrie D, another member. I think it's going to get even worse. Scary thought, but I think that this year our roster was probably the best it's going to be in several years. It's just my personal opinion. So we will go through this off-season process. We will have excellent content for you, because here's the thing. The Miami Dolphins community that exists on the interwebs, that exists as part of the YouTube community, the Miami Dolphins community is an awesome community, and we deserve good content, right? We deserve people that provide good content. People like Shake Money, who puts out great content, deserve a platform to do that. He's got two of them, and they're working out well. So we're going to do what we do. I'm just sitting here giving you an explanation as to why for a couple weeks your boy was MIA, and why for the next little bit of time I'm going to be reassessing myself and then getting the schedule ready for the offseason and coming back furious, as always, because this is Phin-Addict Fury, and ferocious. But I'm being completely and utterly honest with you as to why I get like this at this time of year. And at the end of the day, my outlook won't change until I get that absurd, irrational faith, Jesus take the wheel type thing that happens to every football fan around August time. So get ready for, the Larry K you know and love, but the Larry K you know and love who's a little bit more, existentially nihilistic, And that's just the way it's gonna be. But here's the thing, guys. The season's over officially. Patrick Mahomes, an elite quarterback. He's looking a lot like Tom Brady. It's like he doesn't even need the best team. He doesn't need the best regular season. He doesn't really need anything. He's just going to beat you when he has to beat you, and that's what's going to happen. Brock Purdy did what he could do. The 49ers were a great team, probably the better, more complete team in my honest opinion. But they suffered some inopportune injuries. They had some rough defensive play calls, again, down the stretch, like a lot of teams do. Brock Purdy did what he could. Wasn't the absolutely elite guy they needed him to be. Patrick Mahomes did what he had to do when he had to do it. And the Chiefs, again, now they have a back-to-back win. If you guys are interested, there's been a lot. Go search 49ers fan breaks TV. Because if you think we're mad, check out some of these cats, man. They're breaking their own TVs. They're smashing them. They're trying to fight their own friends. It's nuts out there. Go check it out for your own entertainment. I promise you, you will not regret it. And again, I'm telling you, click subscribe. Join Fury Fan. Become a subscriber. Smash the join button and become an official member. Super chats are open. We can talk. But here's the thing. Since the season's over, we have a special show for you that's going to recap this whole season from a football standpoint, recap this season from a standpoint of our show and our broadcast. The man, the myth, the legend who did this was Shake Money. I asked him to put this together. He's a lot of the brains behind this whole thing. He's got a lot of the ideas that we use on the show. I just talk, Greg, he's just the personality. He's the one the ladies like, you know what I mean? But I talk. Shake comes up with a lot of the ideas. Then you got Lucci. Lucci, we don't know where he is, but he's coming back eventually. And he's still a Fury Fam official member. He's still my dude. It is what it is. But the Dolphins will screw with your head, man. But I want you guys to enjoy the show tonight. It's going to be fun. We're going to get some people talking. We'll see how long we stay on. Because, again, I'm still sorting through my emotions. But I'm happy you guys are here. I'm happy you joined us. I'm happy you're members of the channel. I'm happy you're here. We're not going anywhere. As I said, we're going to be here all off season. So don't count us out. And with that being said, I'm going to bring up actually both these cats because it's the season finale. I'm going to give Shake the floor for his segments. Season-wide segments, mind you. I'm going to bring both these cats up. Fellas, what's good? It's great to see both of your faces. It's been quite a little bit of time.
It's been all right. By the way, I'm just about to make me listen. I'm gonna tell you something that y'all don't want to hear.
Yes.
But, I got the Hawaiian shirt because Tua's gonna get his 5th year. He's gonna get extended.
Oh shoot!
So he's gonna get extended, whether you like it or not. So I'm making me a Hawaiian punch. With extra punch.
Okay, Hawaiian punch. And Shake, by the way, what kind of day is it for
you? Morning, Your Majesty. It is another beautiful day in Zamunda.
You feeling good, Shake?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah. What's up, Cliff D, color commentary? I feel great. By the way, Raphael Courtright, he asked a question in the beginning. What I do an interview? He wants me to do an interview with Iceman, and he's in luck. Last year, my season 1 of In the Blender. If you look at the old episodes, I did it. He was in the blender. So if Raphael Courtright, remind me, and I'll tell you. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up while we're talking. And I'll tell you the exact date when that happened. But
cool.
Iceman was in the blender. So if you want to see that interview, you can. It's in our archives.
It's up here. It's on the archives. Go scroll back and go check it out, man. Go check it out. Now, Shake, I understand you prepared something for us season wide. Is that the case?
The good. The bad. The ugly.
I'm legit interested in hearing this, Shake, man. What'd you put together for us for the whole season, brother?
The whole season. Well, let's start off with which one do we have here? Back to phone. Where did I put the picture? Sorry. Oh, here we go. With the good
The
of the
good.
season. Well, the good is, 4 winning seasons, 2 back-to-back playoffs. Last year, we didn't have to back our way into it. We actually made the playoffs. We fought for the division for, we had a hold on it until we didn't. That's a good. Those are good. Another good is this is going to be the 3rd year under McDaniel, so maybe we could add. You know what I mean? There's going to be a 3rd year of offensive continuity.
True.
Not the same so
Very
much for the defense, but at least if the offense is concerned, I could see where we grow from there. Now, the bad. The collapse in December where we lost to Buffalo. I was there. Not a pretty win sight.
Yeah, bro.
Again, another, just like Brian Flores got the guy, he can't build an offensive staff. Well, it looks like McDaniels can't build a defensive staff because this is his
Bro,
third
good point.
coordinator. His third coordinator.
Good point, man.
And then out of all people, you get rid of Sam Madison. He's the hero of, what I mean? It's like,
yes, we can't even have
man.
that, Shake.
And oh man, and the bad thing is too is like all right, we like I said in the good, we got offensive continuity, which is good. 3 years of offensive continuity, but now the defense, which I said one of the advantages of that Andy Reid has is that he knows nobody's going to poach Stefanski to become a head coach, so he's going to have that defensive continuity as long as he's willing to stay there. Spagnuolo is willing to stay there. He's going to have that defensive continuity because at the end of the day, why would he leave Kansas City, man? He's got the keys to the kingdom when it comes to that defense.
And such an elite coordinator who, you're right, Shake, like no one's thinking he's going to be the best head coach. He's had his shot, but a great coordinator. That's a tough team, bro. If they went through and won the Super Bowl this year when everybody counted them out and they had an objectively down year, if they still won it this year against the 49ers, who everybody thought was world beaters, who the hell's beating them in the next couple of years?
And I want you to think about this. Spagnuolo is the reason why Tom Brady didn't go undefeated.
Yes. Yeah. The Giants D coordinator.
Yeah. So, and of course now we'll get into the ugly. And the ugly, I'm sorry. Here's the new ugly.
Oh, that's one thing we know. That's very ugly. That is very ugly.
Here's the ugly. The fact that we're under the cap. We have 2 players, Christian Wilkins, Tua Tagovailoa. We have a handful of picks, and we got Christian. Who's that? Who's the other guy? Van Ginkel. I mean,
bro,
this offseason so far is starting off to an ugly start. But hey, we'll see how the whole fiasco with Vic Fangio, that was ugly.
Very. Yeah.
It was like a ugly divorce. And the fact that people are saying that he had his mind elsewhere. No. Look, I'm sure he preferred to be in Philadelphia, but I'm sure there's jobs that we'd rather have. But once he's there, he was focused on the Miami Dolphins. He didn't meld it in. At the end of the day, if look with the less talent that he had at the backstretch, how success Miami Dolphins, all those injuries against the Buffalo game, the last game, they got 3 takeaways and they held Josh Allen to 14 points, which Kansas City didn't even do that in the playoffs.
Yeah, man. That's what I don't understand, Shake. Like, it's just crazy to me that they're giving all this, media fanfare and attention to us completely overhauling our defense when our defense at the end of the year was simply not what held us back.
Yeah.
Even if Fangio wasn't the best fit, it's not the reason we lost.
No, and as a matter of fact, I think to be honest with you, the reason I didn't want to move off of Josh Boyer, but the reason I did move off of Josh Boyer because I think Big Ben Joe was the upgrade, but they try to put that same onus on Josh Boyer. I mean, look at all the injuries he had as well, and look what he did in the playoffs. Look how he got in Buffalo. He got Josh Allen to a fumble and throw interception and he's part of the reason why Skylar Thompson almost they only lost by 3 points with Skylar Thompson. That defense showed up in that Buffalo Bills game.
You're 100% right, man. 100% right. It's just that is the ugly, bro. That is the ugly, and it's scary that we are now going back to more of an up and comer. Who by the way, I'm not down on or anything, but it's just going to another up and comer, overhauling an entire staff. You're probably going to overhaul certain players, and like you said, Shake, we're over the cap, and we have two major players that need big contracts, let alone the guys like AVG, who are vital role players. And Shake, we're not going into next year with our two edge rushers healthy. So if you get rid of AVG too because you can't afford them, we're in even a worse spot with that. It's tough. It's not. I'm not feeling great, and I'm just not. G, now you haven't chimed in, but Shake, do you have
the one last thing I want to say is the fact that people look that Tennessee game. Yeah, was it dumb that? Was it bad that Big Banjo allowed 14 points in the last 2 minutes? No, it was. But at the end of the day, the offense had the ball last, and the offense had a chance to win the game. All they needed was field goal. They needed a touchdown. They needed, all they needed was 3 points. Just like, remember that was a double Monday night header. Was the Giants of New York took on the Packers of Green Bay. And you know the rest of the story is a ripping victory. But anyway,
the Giants of New York are feeling okay. No, I'll tell you one, son, stay off the drugs.
Yeah, but my point is, the end of that game, they needed 3 points. They drove down the field and got those 3 points to win the game. We should have done the same thing. The number one offense against the Titans that were, I don't know what how they were ranked, but at the end of the day, we couldn't go down the field in clutch to just get 3 points. No, it was easier. It's easier to blame the defense than actually take onus, and stock and say, look, yeah, the defense messed up by not giving up those points, but we had a chance to seal the deal, and we didn't.
Good point, bro. It's 100% accurate. And it's both teams, but when I always watch people talking about the Titans game, for instance, which was really, I think, the beginning of the collapse of the season, if you really think about it. Yes, the defense let up, 2 drives back to back. It's unacceptable. No one's saying it's acceptable because it's not. But at the same time, the offense had the ball during that time and couldn't even secure it with 1 first down. Not to mention that my biggest, point on that game is that the defense is really the only reason we were in that game because they gave us 2 short fields. I'll give them props at least for one of them because the other one was Tennessee just screwing up, but at least they capitalized on it. So the idea that that's all on the defense, is just silly. So it's just an interesting thing, man. I don't even know, bad or good. You can be optimistic, you can be pessimistic, you can be whatever you'd like, but I think it's a little weird that we're going all in on changing and completely overturning the defense when the offense is more the problem. And, I got to say, and I'll let G go after I say this, but one thing that got me, and everybody, I'm not a fan of Kelsey going up and hitting, his coach and whatnot. And Andy Reid's one of the best coaches ever, in the game. But here's the thing. What I saw from Kansas City in the beginning of that Super Bowl, when they were pretty much losing, even though they weren't playing terrible, nobody was really getting away with it. But they were ridiculously frustrated, angry, emotional, and they weren't having it. Whereas we still have Tyreek on every social media platform available saying, well, shit, we're living it up. We live in Miami. We're cool. There's all this complacency, especially on the offensive side of the ball, as we overhaul the defense, get rid of a legend in Sam Madison, get rid of a top tier coach in Vic Fangio, get rid of a fiery, tough guy who's been here since Flores in Anthony Campanelli. And we're replacing everybody on that side while the offense sits there and says, hey, we're all good. I don't know what you're mad. We're having fun. We live in Miami. We're doing good. We're just great. What do you mean you're just great? Your window's closing. Your brothers on defense are getting overhauled. You don't know who's going to be back next year. Your former team just won a second chip in a row without you, and you're content. I think it speaks to the mentality of the whole team, which is being led by the offense, and I'm not comfortable with it.
By the way, the Kansas City Chiefs are 7-0 after Tyreek Hill left in the playoffs.
Bro, so is the Miami look? I'm not objectively. This is an objective channel. I'm not going to be over emotional, be a clown. Tyreek Hill is an absolute beast. He's the MVP of this team. He's one of the best receivers, top 3 receivers in the entire football league. He's going to the Hall of Fame. However, that says something. Did the Miami Dolphins once again go for the glitz and glamour and the hype in the news and not the winning strategy? Did once again we get outsmarted by a better franchise who knew how to make the right moves and still win chips without a guy who's eating up a ton of salary cap and isn't the reason you won the chip, apparently? G, go ahead.
Larry, it's time to, I guess as the cool kids say, let's let Greg cook here for a minute. Now, first thing I got to do is congratulations, Kansas City Chiefs. You proved me wrong. I didn't think they deserved to be there, but they proved me wrong. Congratulations to them. And Larry, I understand, you and me and Shake, we all understand this. Only one team can host that beautiful Lombardi trophy. So all other 30 fan bases are kind of like us in this situation. Sure. But let me talk to you. I'm gonna start here. We're gonna get to Tua. We're gonna get to the news in a minute about him. But I want to take you back to when this whole rebuild started, right? I remember watching this. By the way, this is by my rant here, or whatever you want to call it, me letting me cook. This comes from a passionate fan who had to get made fun of, get laughed at, rooting for this franchise while Tom Brady and the Patriots out here living in a dynasty, and I had to live through it. So keep that in mind. Back to the Stephen Ross press conference when we fired Adam Gase. Okay, he says Christopher Greer gets in. By the way, that's the first time I heard of Christopher Greer. By the way, he gets in control. I was like, oh, doing my research, watching these videos. Interesting to see what he can bring to the table. Stephen Ross out here saying, we're gonna build this the right way. We're gonna do everything good. We're gonna rebuild it our way, and whatever he was spilling. And boy, shame on me thinking he'd change. He finally understood doing it the right way. Hired Brian Flores. Yes, I don't care, geeks. I'm gonna mention Brian Flores. I had my doubts about him. Proved me wrong. Great head coach. We let him go for McGeek. McGeek still got some proving to. Actually, McGeek's a pretty decent head coach. He still got some proving to do to me. But Tua, let's get to Tua now. I remember that play. Everyone hyping him up, and I remember, okay, well, let's give him a shot. He's gonna start in Alabama. I remember that year. This guy beat on the bad college teams, but against the Clemson, that national championship game, he looked like a bum. And I was calling this out on other platforms. TD was doing on his channel, which I was subscribed to TD. Him and Doug, my two OGs, as I call it. Now there's other channels. But I remember watching TD. I agreed with half the things he said. And then we go to the tank year. Everyone's saying tank for Tua. I'm like, why tank for him? He then hurts his hip. And I remember watching that. I felt for the kid. I'm like, they're good. And then I remember going in the offseason. I was hoping Tua, God rest him. I was hoping, he would stay in school, get the college degree, rest up, go in the draft next year. He declares, and I knew once he said declare, I was hoping for Tom Brady, and we didn't get that. I knew going into the draft, there was all these reports about Love and trading up for Burrow, which was BS, by the way, in my opinion. These are all my opinions, by the way. I knew going into the draft, the Dolphins were going to be the silly team to take him, which was irresponsible coming off a hip injury. I was hoping if the Dolphins would change, they would trade back, get more picks, or take another player, maybe try out a Jordan Love, or just these first 3-round picks. We take the positions that we need, build the team a different way, build it through the trenches, build it elsewhere, and then go for the quarterback next year. Tank for Trevor Lawrence. That's what I wanted. But the Dolphins did it. They took Tua, and now we're 4 years in here. 4 years in Tua's career. Not getting me wrong. I was upset about it. I said I would support him. I've been supporting him 4 years. We're now 4 years in, Larry. We still have the same concerns going into next year as the things in college. I knew Tua was getting extended. Larry knew he's going to get extended. We knew it going into this year. He's probably going to get extended. Doesn't mean I have to like the decision. Doesn't mean everyone in this fan base has to like the decision. I know I won't like the decision, but I will support the decision, just like I did Ryan Tannehill. And now we're 4 years in again, like I said, and we're about to make the same mistake we did with Ryan Tannehill. And as a fan, that upsets me. It upsets me. It makes me it makes me feel like upset. But I will support the decision. And I'm telling you right now, Larry, if in 5 years from now, if this is the Ryan Tannehill situation, I will be the one guy come up here laughing, saying, "I told you so, you Tua geeks." I will come up here laughing at you. Now, 5 years from now, along with my laughing, if it fails, doesn't mean I want it to fail. I want this to work out. I hope we win 3 Super Bowls in this 5-year contract. But I will come up here laughing, and then I will not laugh because we just sat here 5 years wasting our time. Larry's up there in age, Shake's up there in age, guys like TD, El Cap, all these crypto, all these old Dolphin fans. I feel bad for them because they have to sit through this mediocre garbage. And I'm telling you, this is why I was arguing with people on Sunday. I wasn't even arguing with people. I just tweeted out my tweet and I closed the app. I said to people, these Tua geeks, these Tua, whatever you want to call them, what has he done to earn Joe Burrow type money? In my opinion, he hasn't. I think a team-friendly contract, maybe 30, 40 mil, and maybe with it out, because he hasn't deserved it. I'm going up this year because let me tell you something, Tua geeks. I have much better things to do in my life, in my time, than go look in the past to do research. So if you want to come at me with your stats and all your things, I got better time in my life than do research. But I'm going off based off this year. 1-6 against winning record teams. Hasn't won a playoff game. Hasn't won in the division. Yeah, so I was asking these people, what has he done to deserve this contract? And then they're coming at me with Justin Herbert. Let me tell you something. I don't care about Justin Herbert. I don't care about any other team. I only care about the Dolphins. What has Tua done to deserve this contract? And then I was arguing with these people. I'm like, oh, that's right. Leader in passing stats and Pro Bowls. That's what we celebrate here. And all these Tua geeks taking their victory lap, popping the champagne, acting like this extension is a Super Bowl. And that's what upsets me. But again, I know he was getting extended after the season. I will support this decision. And then if it fails, I'll be the one guy in this fan base laughing and telling you I was right, at the same time being upset because we're going to have to go through 5 years of this again. And I'm telling you right now, if it fails, me and all these people, we decide the next quarterback. We come out here saying, tank for this guy and all this BS because I'm sick of it. I just want a Super Bowl. I'm like everybody. I want a Super Bowl. That's all I want. I'm done with the mediocrity. I'm done living for this garbage. But I will support Tua. I will support you. And then Tyreek. This is my beef with him. I love you, Tyreek. But he's not here to win a Super Bowl. He's here for money and stats. I love you, Tyreek. You're a great guy, great player, Hall of Fame. But you're not here to win chips. If you were, you would have not been tweeting about the Chiefs using motivation. Come on, motivation. That's all I gotta say, Tyreek.
Bro, yeah. And, bro, I agree with everything you said, and I would say I totally agree with Tyreek. He's here for money and stats. He's chilling. He already won his chip. What does he need to do at this point? There's nothing left to do. And I don't blame him. You're living your life. You've achieved more than most of us will ever achieve financially, fame-wise, the ability to build a brand of yourself. You are now in South Florida. There's no state income tax. You're an absolute beast. You have nothing to apologize to anybody for, but it don't do a damn thing for me as a Miami Dolphins fan because you're not here to win chips.
Larry, if Tyreek was here to win a Super Bowl, why was he out here piping up 2K yards. Because if you looked at the plays, all 17 games, they're just force-feeding it to Tyreek. Where's Waddle was getting involved? He's still got 1,000, I believe. But guys like Berrios, Claypool, Craycraft, Wilson, you didn't see him until, they got banged up, or Waddle and Hill. I mean, and Smythe, you didn't see Smythe until around the Cowboys game. He was starting to get involved. And these geeks out here, Larry, are preaching we need a tight end. Are you kidding me right now? Darren Smythe, not a top 10 tight end, but he's a decent tight end. He catches everything thrown his way. And yet, we need a tight end. I agree. We need a tight end, guys. Tua Geeks, we need a tight end. Yeah, let's go pay a tight end, man.
No, and my thing is this, bro. It's like at the end of the day, where we want to win a Super Bowl. And what I don't understand is Tua-neers, they will celebrate Tua getting a large contract, even if it means we can't retain talent around the team. And to me, it's like, I don't care who the player is. Wouldn't you want any player, if you're a fan of the team, to take a team-friendly deal if you're a fan of the team? If their Super Bowl is him getting a big contract, then they're not Dolphins fans. They're simply Tua fans. And I'll go one step further, and I'll put it out there. They're Tua cucks, because what is another man making money that doesn't even know you exist do for your life in any way fathomable? You're out here popping champagne because some other man's making millions of dollars living the life. What does that do for you?
I know. And Larry, if we do give Tua that bag, that Joe Burrow type money, highest paying quarterback money, I hope you're ready to see the offensive line not get worse. Tyreek's probably here when you have money to pay Waddle, so you have really receivers. The defense it's actually getting worse, the defense. I mean, this was the issue I had with him at Alabama going into the draft. He has wide open receivers, 5-star old linemen, 5 stars receivers. You don't get that in the NFL. And you give him the bag, guess what? It's going to get worse. You're going to be like Patrick Mahomes out here throwing the Marlels, Valens Scantling, who dropped balls in the regular season, but now catch all of a sudden. But, it is what it is. I will support it. But I'm telling you, if this fails in 5 years, I'm going to come up here laughing. And I hope, Larry, in the 5 years, win 3 Super Bowls or maybe even more, maybe all 5 in a row, and we can come back to this clip of me talk about this and laugh. We can laugh. We can laugh at me, laugh at this, and just,
no one's going to care.
And yeah, and we wouldn't.
Except the weirdos.
Laugh at it. We have 3 Super Bowls on.
Because the thing is, bro, even when they bring up Burrow, bring up Burrow all you want. Burrow's been to a Super Bowl. He has an AFC championship ring.
Twice.
He's been to 2 championship games. What are we talking about? Stop. You act like, well, Burrow did. Well, did Tua go to a Super Bowl? Did he go to 2 AFC championship games? If the answer is no, then be quiet. What are you even talking about?
This is the problem I have with the fan base. I forgot to mention this part about the fan base. We'll sit here on Twitter going and making fun of all these quarterbacks. We'll go make fun of Justin Herbert and his records against losing teams. We'll go out and make fun of Josh Allen. We'll go make fun of Lamar, calling him a running back, which, by the way, 2 MVPs and AFC title champion periods. Geeks. We'll go out here and make fun of Brock Purdy. We'll go out here and make fun of who else? Burrow. I remember this. We won I think it was week 1. We won our game. Burrow had like 4 picks and we were laughing about it. But these other fan bases start attacking us and our quarterback. Our fan base starts using about the defense, the old line, Tyreek dropping balls. Granted, Tyreek should catch them if he's a Hall of Fame receiver, but he drops them. Everything but Tua, and I'm sick of that. If you go look at these other fan bases, specifically the Bills, I know Bills fans are blaming Josh Allen all year on their struggles. I mean, what are we doing here? This is
it's funny, bro. Like, you have Michael K. Tuaside himself, who will sit here and say Josh Allen is an awesome quarterback, but when Josh Allen loses a game, Tuaside will legit say, well, Josh Allen screwed up. Josh Allen wasn't living up to expect. But this fan base, Tua could throw 5 picks a game the whole season. They wouldn't admit it. And my thing is, if Tua was on the Jets or Tua was on the Pats, this fan base, even if he had the receiving title, the passing title, the yardage title, everything, Pro Bowl, which, by the way, what's up with the Pro Bowl? He didn't even do in the skills comp. He looked like a chump.
The Pro Bowl is a joke now.
Hey, by the way, I want to bring up two things. Number one, I make fun of Josh Allen because I hate the Buffalo with all my heart and soul. And number two, yes, here's the thing. Michael Kay does point out Josh Allen's flaws, but at the end of the day, he's banned from just about every Buffalo Bills outlet there is because of it.
Okay, fair enough.
Just like they're the Buffalo Bills fans are just like us with Dolphins fans with Tua. So
fair enough, Shake.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
And Michael K is banned
from
from a lot of Bills spaces.
Fair enough, bro. I didn't know that. So that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But at the end of the day, man, I just, people just refuse to accept reality.
EM, what's going on, EM?
What up, EM?
Yo, Scott Jackson, what's going on, my brother? Long time no see. How you doing, bro? Hey, I'm glad you're doing all right, bro. Good to see you, man.
At the end of the day, man, it's just like I'm behind it as well, Greg. You got to root for the team. I will be rooting for the team. I'll be objective when we have another great September, October. I'll be just as happy.
I'll be jumping up and down, Larry.
Yeah. I'll be saying, what it takes for us to get the number one seed. I'll be doing all that stuff. I'll be doing all that stuff. But I already know you got to be blind not to see that look, if we had a chance, here's my biggest thing, especially with this coming year. Maybe the following year is different. If we legitimately thought that the team as a whole was going to take a step forward this year and progress, there would still be that hope that, hey, we can get it done. But you have to acknowledge that this team, from a talent standpoint, I don't know how else you slice it, is going to take a step back this coming year. And we're turning over the defense again. And even if the defense plays lights out, what is the defense playing lights out going to get you? Holding championship teams to 14 points? Good. We already did it. So even if the defense plays great, they're already playing about up to par for what they played the end of last year. So what about this team? Tyreek has a second career year in a row. Eventually, he's going to get older. Okay? You think Mostert's going to have a career year like that again? I don't know. You have linemen who are up for contracts. How is this team going to take a step forward? Forget the court, just the team around the quarterback. How's it going to happen? And you got Aaron Rodgers coming back to the Jets. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You got team. The Chiefs are probably going to get better, and they already won.
Oh yeah, they got more. They got money.
Mm-hmm.
We have no money.
Yep. And Larry, I've been saying this on how the Dolphins can do it, but people don't like it. I'm saying we need more draft picks. We only have 6 this year. Now, Christopher Greer, we know he can't draft, but what? Like, I understand that, but we need picks. We need more picks.
That's what's probably going to happen, G.
What?
They're probably going to trade a pick for a big splash player, and this fan base, because remember, it's a defense's fault. They're going to trade the number 1 for like Surtain.
Yeah.
To replace Madison as the legacy guy. And this fan base is going to start chirping like we own everybody in May and June and July. Watch.
Larry, but I've been saying we need more picks, because with the more picks you can get, that's more cheap contracts you have. Even if you pay 2 of the 55, whatever the contract's going to be, we don't know yet. I know it's coming. We know it's coming. But if you get more draft picks to fill up the defense, you can. It's up to Christopher Greer hitting on his picks. Will he hit on them? Probably not. But I'm out here giving you a solution that you don't like the answer to. And I know what's going to happen, Larry. We're gonna keep our 6 picks going into draft. I'm not talking about the offseason. I know we're going to keep the 6 picks instead of getting. We're not even going to trade any picks. We're going to sit there with our 6 pick. I said this on Monday. I guarantee you, on the first round, they're going to take instead of taking Jackson Howard Johnson, everyone wants a tackle. They're going to take. I guarantee you, they're going to take some position we don't need. Guarantee you, it'll be the best receiver.
Yeah.
Best edge rusher, best cornerback, best safety. You watch. They're going to take a position that that we don't need per se. But again, we're more worried about the O-line than them.
I'm gonna drop the link real quick so get some people's perspectives on here. Do one at a time.
Go ahead and drop it.
Hey, by the way, man, before I do drop the link, I just want to I want I'm season 2 of in the blender is coming up, right?
Yes, sir.
And when I put Miami Dolphins blenders so I could see one, whatever, and I see the episodes come up on Google, man.
That's dope, bro. That's awesome.
By the way, Raphael Cartwright, the episode I did with Iceman was on June 2nd. So look that up, June 2nd. But yeah, it's awesome that I Google. Also, I Googled, if I Googled insomnia currency connection, that comes up too.
That's great, bro. You see,
And by the way, I'm glad I see Scott Jackson in here, man. Scott Jackson was one of the first few people that were always in the chat when I was starting in the blender. And I'm glad you're here, man. I always wanted to tell you, man, how much I appreciated your support in the beginning, man. So
that's dope, man. That's good.
I just wanted to say that to Scott Jackson. I'm glad he's here.
That's good to hear. I love that. And G, I would just say, man, to your point, as you crush this Klondike, I would say, look, I agree with you wholeheartedly with the Ross saying he wasn't going to meddle. Like, dude,
I always invited him. He never returned my text, but go ahead. Sorry.
Greer said Ross said he wasn't going to meddle with Greer. Greer hired Flores. Greer set up a trade offer for for Deshaun Watson. Like, Ross got involved again, bro. He tried to talk to Flores. He tried to bring Tom Brady onto a yacht. Then he fired him. Then he was involved with the hiring of McDaniel. He didn't want Deshaun Watson. He got involved again. And I'm telling you, people out there could disagree all they want. I know plenty of people do. We're never going to get over it. I personally think it's a defense mechanism. You're going to defend Ross because you know you can't get away from Ross. So the only thing to do is to just rationalize it with yourself. But as soon as he got back involved, we also had the problems. Like, he didn't stay uninvolved, bro.
And Larry, I forgot to mention 2 quick things before we let people come on. Number 1, you all need to stop with Chris Greer being a good GM. In my opinion, Chris Greer is not a top GM. His solution to everything is throw money at it. Throw money. Here's my money there, and getting top players. It's not going to work. That's why I'm preaching draft picks. If Chris Greer was a good GM, he would get more picks and draft, but he didn't. He drafted Noah Ingbedungadi, replaces David Howard. That failed.
Terrible.
Drafted I haven't done my research because I got better things to do in my life. But again, we can go through.
He had a couple good drafts and then terrible drafts.
Exactly.
And the reason his terrible drafts are now the reasons why we're over the cap and still don't have replacements for a lot of these guys.
He has hit on some picks. I will give him that. But there's some picks that haven't worked out. But now Christopher Greer has no money to throw at the problem. So we're going to see what he's made of. True. Number 2, I've seen people arguing with Jets fans about when they're preaching how Tua is 5-0. Yeah, let me tell you something, Dolphin fans. If I played quarterback, I would be 5-0. Look at the quarterbacks: Milf Wilson, Trevor Seaman, Tim Boyle. Damn, Donald, come on. Larry could go up there and be 5-0 against such but they have an elite defense. Yeah, if they had a quarterback, they probably would beat us with that elite defense. Come on.
Right, they did beat us the one time, and it wasn't because Tua was out, in my personal opinion.
Come on.
Skyler, who almost beat the Bills. Skyler, who was not supposed to play that day.
And we almost won that game.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
The field goal. Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
What are we doing? We don't play Milf Wilsons in the playoff. Come on.
That's all they care about, though. If they can beat the Jets 2 times a year, they'll be like, we beat the Jets every year. Yeah, but you never beat the Bills. God. Fred, what's good, my bro?
The Jersey, Jersey man.
Jersey man out here. What's good, brother?
Hey, that's right, man. Good running backs come out of New Jersey, man. South Jersey, man. Let me tell you, man.
Yeah, especially South Jersey. You're right.
What's the topic about?
Yeah, we just talking in general, but shit, you can give props to Pacheco. That's the South Jersey dude right there, man. Rutgers cat
man,
too.
Exactly, man.
Exactly. Jersey dude.
Yeah, a lot of cats, man. And then Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's a Jersey cat too.
Hey, Greg, I don't know if you will go 5-0 against the Jets, man, but definitely 4-1, bro. Definitely 4-1. No, man, but on the real, man, like, you know, I say we have Tua play his 5th year out because there's too much to address other than just giving this guy the money like that, man. It's so much more that needs to be worked on, man. Let him play his fifth year out and see and we get our team together, man, and see how he does after after his fifth year, man. And that's where I am with it, man. I mean, right now we shouldn't be just thinking about giving a guy, that's really, hasn't proven anything yet, this kind of money, man, where we need to address other holes in the team, man.
I agree with you,
Yeah.
bro. I think there's a news reports out. You guys were referencing a lot, Shake and Greg, and I've been following a bit. They keep coming out saying that they want to get a deal done soon, but has there been any other news beyond just the rumors that they want to get a deal done soon? Do we know numbers? Do we have a timeline?
No, I again, Larry, I'm just hearing. I hear what you hear. They want to done to it. I believe it's already set, sealed, delivered. I think they're just coming up with the numbers. But granted, I agree with Fred. I would play him on the fifth-year option, but Fred, they're not going to do it. They're going to pay him. We have to stick at the floor. We got to prove narratives around here. And Fred, you have to like the signing. I won't like the signing, but I will support the signing. But again, I'm telling you, 5 years from now, I will be the one guy laughing, saying "I told you so," and I will be mad at the same time because we wasted time.
By
the way, you seen Taylor Swift's cousin was at the Super Bowl. You see her?
No, what?
No.
I saw Ice Spice.
Oh, Taylor Swift now. Taylor Swift gone down there hanging out with Kelsey, the other Kelsey, and Kelsey mama.
You
She
heard this?
waited on me yesterday.
You didn't tell me you had memes, bro. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you know what, Larry? I had time to.
That's great. That's great.
Remember, if you're a Seinfeld fan, you know this episode.
Hey, Larry shaking Greg. Larry shaking Greg.
Yo, that's true right there, Fred. Look at that one.
Yeah, I see.
Hold on. I have breaking news. Breaking news. San Francisco 49ers received 4 mail-in touchdowns last night. At 4 a.m., they are now the Super Bowl champions.
Oh, my God.
How do you not know the new overtime rule? Don't these guys play Madden? Like, I knew you take the ball. I'm telling my dad, you want the ball second because if the Chiefs went down and got a touchdown, you got the ball, you go down.
Exactly.
You don't need to go. You don't need to. Guy was saying, "Hey, we wanted the ball third. What are you doing? You want the ball second? Go down.
Yeah, because even if you score a touchdown, they get the ball back. What are you doing? You stop them to a 3, you can win. Like that's what. Yeah, I agree with you.
Hey, Larry, Greg, and Shake. This thought came to me, man, while I was watching the game last night, and what came to me was like, man, to me, we literally have a second string quarterback who's the starter that's about to get paid, and a backup that's a third string quarterback when you come down to it.
True.
And the third string is a fucking practice squad dude. Now I'm giving Skylar Thompson, I'm giving him the third string quarterback position. It seems like it's backwards, man. The starter is a second string guy. The second string guy is a third string guy. And then the third string guy is a practice squad player. Like, what are we doing, man? That were my thoughts, man. Just sitting back thinking and shit, man.
I hear it, bro. And Joe, man, what's up, my brother? Another member of Fury Fam. Joe is in the building. Another Jersey cat, actually, too. But, bro, I think, one of the things I thought about, Fred, was, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that Skylar, is the starter over to her. I'm definitely not one of those cats. I'm not Pete. You know what I'm saying? I'm not out of my mind. But I will say that, when you're in a rough situation, you can't get anything going whatsoever, you might as well try somebody else. And whether it was Skylar Thompson or whether it was Mike White in the playoff game, bro, why don't we? Because, remember when, Greasy goes down?
Man. Go ahead, Larry. Go ahead, Larry. I'm sorry, man. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Greasy goes down. Morrill's playing his brains out. He friggin' was responsible for a lot of the wins in 72. But when
Yeah.
he wasn't getting it done, they had to go back to Greasy. And sometimes just because you pull Tua for the one game because the weather's not fitting him, whatever, doesn't mean you can't start Tua the next week. Like, I don't know why we're in this situation currently in this league. I mean, I do know why. They've overemphasized the quarterback position to the point that a guy like Mahomes is going to win over and over and over again, despite if his team has weaknesses, because the league is so slanted in favor of elite quarterbacks with the rules and whatever else that these guys have, the complete control over who wins and who loses. So I understand why, but it's a shame that we couldn't just sit Tua during KC to see if we can get a spark from somebody else because it's so controversial to do so. I just think it would have helped.
So when one more thing, Larry. So when the game against the Chiefs, we played them. As soon as he did something like didn't convert, something like that, it could have been that. I was like, oh man, pull this guy while it's early. Was that because was I in my feelings, Larry, man, or did I want to see us have a chance, bro?
I think you want to see us have a chance. I think it was, I would have said a quarter and a half before I pulled them, but I would say this.
It was about that time, Larry. It was about that time, yes.
Yeah, because I would say, bro, listen, it was evident from jump, and even the commentators were kind of surprised. We came out with a game plan that was evidently and obviously designed to take the ball out of the quarterback's hands because it was too cold, because of whatever else. Now, that's absolutely true. Right? I understand it was too cold for Tua. I understand he wasn't playing well. I understand all that. But Mahomes comes right out on the first drive and starts throwing the ball. And even the commentators were surprised. It showed the difference in the teams. One team had a quarterback that they were going to trust to put the team on his back no matter what the weather was, no matter how rough it was. And the other team had a quarterback where they were decidedly going to take the ball out of his hands because they didn't think he could do it in that situation under those circumstances. It was evident, and it's not like the Chiefs killed it as a team. It's Mahomes ran the ball when he had to, made throws when he had to, and just made things happen just a little bit more to will his team to victory, and he's done it all year. And I've never really, honestly, bro, I haven't seen Tua do that in a clutch situation at the end of a year in December or January or in the playoffs his entire career. And that goes back to college as the one game that, he makes a legend on that game, Fred. Oh, he came in as a freshman. Yeah, he came in as a freshman. A spring chicken, nothing to lose, nothing on the table, no pressure, still threw a pick, but threw a couple balls to win a game, and he lives off that for eternity. Every other time he had a chance to make something happen in a pivotal game in college when it was a tough elite team, he didn't get it done.
Right. Hey, Larry,
sorry.
In your opinion, Larry, like, do you think the cold bothers Tua, man? In your
155%. It bothers me, but I'm not from Hawaii. I'm from friggin' Jersey, where I just walked around the snow for 3 hours. So if it bothers me, it definitely bothers him.
Yeah, man. Okay.
And you know what else, Fred? I don't care how long I've been in the snow or how accustomed to, cold weather I am. If I go down to Miami for a week and I come back up here, I'm going to feel cold, and vice versa.
And,
so that's going to affect everybody, but it definitely affects him more. Come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
We got to play from home, Fred. We got to play from home. And if you can't get it done December, you ain't going to play from home. Shake, what were you saying?
Listen, at the end of the day, too, look if you look at the games, the cold weather games where Lamar Jackson was playing in, that man was looking for a tauntaun to go into, bro. That man, he was so bundled up.
Yeah, bro. Come on.
He's from Florida too, so it's not. Hey, he's not the only one, bro.
I
get
it.
Absurdly cold. It's not always going to be like that. But
hell, Crypto's from Chicago. Crypto's from Chicago, and he can't stand the freaking cold.
Yeah,
I never forget, man. I had a room. We went to the Giant. It was the Carolina game. Yeah, or I forgot what game we went to. But anyway, we went to a Dolphins game, and I got to roommate with him. This man had the AC at 80 degrees. I'm like, God damn, you from Chicago? How the hell you?
remember
That's
that
crazy.
shit.
That's not me, bro. I open the windows when it's cold out, just like you, Shake. I like it cold when I sleep, man.
Yeah.
Holy
I know
moly,
Tua puts an
man!
alpaca
I was sweating my
blanket, a
ass
damn
off in
heater,
that
and a
damn.
fireplace on when he sleeps.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. But Fred, yo, thanks for coming. I want to let Mountie on, my brother.
Okay, man. Thanks for having me, Larry.
All right,
Thanks
brother.
for having
Always
me.
good hearing from you, my bro. Talk to you soon. Mountie, the man, the myth, the legend, the king of Twitter Spaces. What's up, bro?
And he's
Hey,
from
what's
Hawaii.
going
And he's
on,
living in
Larry? What's
Hawaii
going
right
on,
now. He's
fellas?
living
How
in Hawaii
y'all?
too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
How
true.
y'all
He's also
doing?
from Hawaii. You're right. He's been said that. Yes.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen. Every time I hear Tua is getting an extension, the more discouraged I get because what?
Mhm.
Listen, the pattern. It's not an isolated incident. This guy, can he beat Josh Allen? Can you beat a healthy Aaron Rodgers? Now, from what I'm hearing through the grapevine, they're going to get Aaron Rodgers another receiver. Now, who
I
that
believe it.
receiver might be, I don't know. It could be Gabe Davis. It could be because Devontae Adams wants to play with Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, I would hate that, bro. He almost
So,
beat us this year.
I'm gonna just say, if Aaron Rodgers gets another receiver, dude, we're looking at being third in the division again. Like
I can see
I
it.
mean, look, how do you see? Listen, and I stand 10 toes down on this, Larry. I think at this point, well, from the beginning, I thought, first of all, you draft to a number 5 coming off a horrific hip injury. That in itself is unbelievable,
Mm-hmm.
egregious.
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes in and he's struggling. So I'm thinking Tua. I'm thinking the Dolphins made a business decision because Tua is a cash cow. He
Yeah,
puts
bro.
butts in seats. He puts butts in seats. And Greg, I don't know if I said this before. I think it was 19 or 20. Tua had the number 1 selling jersey in the country. That's a fact. Like Tua is a cash cow. I don't know if Stephen Roth is just making business decisions because he puts butts in seats and he sells paraphernalia and this kind of third. But if he's willing to just throw caution to the wind and just fatten his pockets, then well, maybe that's where we're at. Maybe he just needs to sell the team and move on.
And you know what's fun? And you know what's funny is people say, "Well, Ross says he wants to win a Super Bowl before he dies." Let me ask you a question. Let's say, for the sake of argument, that he was just in it for the money. You think he'll flat out and say, "You know what? I'm only in it for the ticket sales and the merch money.
Right.
I'm only
Of course
this is
he's
just
not.
my."
Of course he's not.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day,
But
look,
he's
like I said before, we all have our work priorities. So if our work priorities were calling, we wouldn't be doing this right now. We're doing this because our jobs are fulfilled. And I say that to say this. Think about this. His money, owner like a guy like that, he's gonna live where his money is, and he's not living in Florida. So that should tell you where his money is.
Well,
Right.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about the money game, the guns and the butter. First off, you don't become a millionaire, and you certainly don't become to stay a billionaire making foolish financial decisions. So if Tua is making him big bucks, hey, look, it is what it is. It's the guns and the butter.
No, and I'll tell you this, bro. When he decided that he didn't want to make the trade for Deshaun Watson because the public backlash would outweigh the Tua near vehement fan base, when he tried to do the orange carpet that chased Bill Parcells away, when he does all of these things and makes these big splash signings, that put tickets in seats, and then when he goes out and advertises off the strength of those signings, it's evident that while he may, of course, want to win a Super Bowl, his primary focus is making the Miami Dolphins and their games a destination, a big event, a pageantry, a contest to see who's on the orange carpet, the red carpet, whatever. It's more about the pageantry, the glitz and the glamour than the substance. I've been saying this about Stephen Ross forever. If you go over to Hudson Yards, it's a beautiful big building from the outside, big monument, looks like a beehive. It's called whatever it's called. People jump off, commit suicide from it. It's whatever. But inside, it's cool. It's nice. There's all these amenities, but it's all the way on the west side of Manhattan. There's not a lot around there. It doesn't have the character because he's all about the glitz and the glamour and the notoriety from the outside, and he's not about building a culture from within. And people could say, because I hear it all the time, well, he's a billionaire. He must be doing something right. Well, he's rich. He must be doing something right. Let me tell you, we live in a country where you could get rich by being a complete and utter fraud. The honest people are the ones who don't make money in this country. So don't give me that crap. I don't like Ross. I never will. I think the team's in bad hands with him. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't know. Just to see what we've seen from Tua the last 4 years. I mean, just notably the last 2 years. For you to hitch your wagon to this dude and give him a big extension, I mean, it's a slap in the face to Joe Burrow. It's a slap in the face to Justin Herbert, who put up historical numbers. It's the ups. Yeah, but Burrow, maybe Herbert. The argument was, well, Herbert hasn't won a playoff game either, but Herbert brings more to the table. Can you imagine Herbert in this offense with Tyreek Hill and Waddle?
Well, and I agree with you, bro. And I think it's evident where the Miami, you got to understand, you got to look at the organization as a whole. And the organization takes on the personality and the trajectory of its leader. It's a top-down thing. Look at this organization. What do they highlight on fan posts? What do they advertise? What do they hang their hats on? They hang their hats on the league-leading passing stats, the Pro Bowl votes. The team itself is advertising those things. The team itself does not seem, as an organization, concerned with winning as much as personal stats. They know what sells to this collective critical mass of fan base who has bought into the Tua hype, and they are going to continue to sell it because Stephen Ross, above being a winner, above being any type of semblance of a football man, Stephen Ross is a businessman. And what he cares about is, these people want to buy this product. I'm going to package up and sell this product. And Tua is a product that sells. That's why he has record numbers of Pro Bowl votes every year. That's why he has all these fan clubs. And Stephen Ross knows that he's going to make money. To your point, Mountie, he's going to make money by continuing to push this. And the more he can bolster this image, just like the NFL bolsters Taylor Swift, Stephen Ross bolsters Tua Tagovailoa. There's no difference. And it is what it is. Now, it doesn't mean he's not an upper tier quarterback because Mike McDaniel is such a genius that he diminished his flaws to the extent that he's able to shine that way. But Tua is not the dude that's going to overcome Pat Mahomes. If Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen can't do it, this cat isn't going to do it. Now, listen. That's okay because you may never be able to get a Patrick Mahomes. You may never be able to get a Lamar Jackson. So you stick with what works, and Tua is still better than probably at least 2/3 of the league. However, what you don't do is you don't pay him like he's a top 3 guy in the league because then it stunts your ability to surround him with better players, which could actually make him successful. And that's my problem. I don't care if you keep him. I care if you pay him above his value for what he can do for the team in the playoffs. That's what I care. And
So
Cosa Nostra, you can call me poison to consume your thoughts. The fact is, I'm spitting truth, and your mind doesn't want to hear it. Makes your mind want to explode because it's reality pills, my brother. And you're a Tua-neer, and you don't want to hear it.
So, Larry, let me ask you a quick question here. So let's say we extend them highest paying quarterback, right? What if we have next year the same exact season we had as last season, or even worse, and then going into the next year, 2025, 2026 season, it's the same thing and worse. We can't move off him. We're stuck. And it's
because
like
the team's
Tannehill
telling you
over.
they don't care, bro. They're not
Exactly.
waiting. They don't care. They're willing to take a step back from a roster and talent perspective just to pay him, and they'll keep hyping his stats,
They were doing
even
the
if we
same-
go 500. Even though we
Same
can't,
with
'cause we won
Tannehill.
17 games. Whatever.
Same thing with Tannehill. It took until Adam Gase and that was probably Tannehill's best year, and then he had an ACL and knee injury, whatever it was. Then he comes back the following year, it happens again. And Tua, he played all 17 games this year. What makes you think next year he does play all 17?
No, I don't think so. That's the
Well,
thing. That's another thing.
I'm just my dad.
And people, go ahead, Greg. Go ahead.
Oh, my dad's been saying Tua's gonna stay healthy. My dad's not a Tua guy either. He said Tua's gonna stay healthy this year, but once he signs a contract extension, he'll play not all the games in that 5-year window.
True.
And I'm gonna say, and see, the thing is this. Again, Tua, he's a good quarterback, but people like to, in order to enforce their argument as to why he deserves his money. Well, he led the league in passing yards. I don't give a crap about passing yards. I care about the touchdowns. Now, if you give me 3,500 yards and 40 touchdowns, I'm rocking with you with that. That 4,600 yards or something like that, 2/3 of that, 3/4 of that came in the front half of the season. He dwindled when the season started to get tough. We had to play on the road. We had to play Buffalo again. And then, like I'd like to note, on the Buffalo game, especially the second time we played them, they were without their 4 best defensive players: Tre'Davious White, Jordan Phillips, Matt Milano. I think Micah Hyde didn't even play either. So I mean, dude, he just hasn't shown me that he's worth an elite, a big time extension. And this is, and it bothers me. The fact is, Greer, because he's a clown. You because you don't manage the cap well and you don't draft well and develop well. Now we're kind of somewhat financially in a place where we have to extend him because you picked up his option. We have to extend him so we can get the cap under control. I mean, dude, you gave up a haul for Tyreek Hill. I still think we overpaid for him.
No,
and
you're right.
then Tua, you give him a big contract. Plus, we already see what he needs around him for him to be productive. That's expensive. I said that last year.
And bro, think about it, Mountie. We're paying Tyreek Hill all that money just to make Tua look better because he's got two of the best receivers really in the league. Waddle would have been a number 1 on most teams in the league, and we're paying him. And I'll tell you what, even if you don't think it's too much now because Tyreek's performing at his level, he's going to get old and eventually he's going to be too much. It's going to be more than he's playing up to, and that's just the reality. I'm not knocking the cat, but if he ain't going to keep it up at that level forever. Mountie, I got to let you run because I got to bring color on, and I got Cap behind you.
All right, brother. All right, bro.
Always great to hear you, bro. Always love your thoughts.
Much love, Mountie. Appreciate you.
Talk
Peace,
to you soon, bro. Later. Color commentary. What's up, my bro? How you feeling? How you doing?
Hey, that's my Finn's tailgate brother in there. What's going on?
I already know.
Good evening, gentlemen. So I just came up to make a point I was trying to make in chat about the about Mahomes and all that. Look, everybody wants to say, oh well, everything's just fine and we're okay with mediocrity because look, you got to beat Mahomes and nobody can do that. Well, that may be fine, but the Super Bowl the other night, being that we're in the AFC East, we wouldn't have had to beat Mahomes. I mean, you got to beat Mahomes to get there, more than likely, but that's not always the case. And the thing of it is, I'm pretty sure if we had better quarterback play, that we would have equally made the 49ers pay the other night. And if you don't want to look at us, look at the 2 or 3 other quarterbacks that are just below Mahomes. The Lamar Jacksons and Josh Allens and Joe Burrows of the world. Every one of those quarterbacks wins the other night too, because Brock Purdy is not that guy.
I agree with that
Period.
too, bro. I agree with that too.
So it boils down to the quarterback for them too.
Hey, check this out. I want
That's a
Color,
good point,
I want you to
Kohler.
think
That's a
about three
good
things.
point.
I want you to think about this. Look, San Francisco's first 5 Super Bowls: Steve Young, Joe Montana. Their last 3: Kaepernick, Jimmy Garoppolo, and whatchamacallit, and this guy Brock Purdy.
Right. Now they have
And
to
can you tell me any of those quarterbacks better than the 2 I just mentioned when they won the Super Bowl?
no.
Of course not.
No, but that just shows in a bad conference that anybody can get there. But, I just don't think Mahomes is the only one in the AFC that could have done what they did the other night.
No, you're right.
What's
You
up,
know what else, Kohler? I was saying
What's going
this
on?
in the NFC Championship game. Purdy made certain plays at the right time that even Tua couldn't make even those plays, yet Purdy still ain't that dude. And he made just enough to get to the Super Bowl. But as the game went on, bro, you know what I was saying? I was saying the exact same thing. San Fran, especially on defense, had control of that game for 3 quarters, but their offense and their quarterback could not score an extra 1 or 2 insurance touchdowns.
They
Who
lost
does that remind you of?
how we always do.
Yes. I was thinking about that during the game, bro. It's
the thing of it is people are right to say, well, you can build like San Francisco. You can build like the Dolphins where you build this big powerhouse and everything has to be perfect. The problem is in today's league, Mahomes is so good that you have to build a team where it's like everything has to be perfect and you got to have a playmaker at quarterback.
Right.
Just to have a chance.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
And I tell you what,
not have a playmaker, difference maker at quarterback.
Right.
And simple.
So as we learned over the last 30 some years, you're going to have to start from scratch at some point. If the reason that you're tanking is because you just blew the house on a star quarterback, which we've had the opportunity to do.
Yep.
Then you're still gonna what have I always, and Shake might remember this. You've been around long enough. You might even Larry too. I've said it enough over the last couple years. You're gonna have to build the team anyway. You're gonna have to start from $0 or in cap hell and get out of it and build the team anyway. I would much rather be doing that because I did what the Browns did.
No, you're right.
Then continuing to do it this way, the way we've done it the last 30 years, which is keep trying to build the unicorn for whoever is under center. It just don't work.
It doesn't,
and that's the very thing that we keep doing over and over, expecting different results instead of just blowing the wad on the guy is just about a sure thing or is competitive enough to know, like the Lamar Jacksons of the world, to say, okay, you blew your wad on that. Now you're in a tank year. Hey, the Ravens did it for 2 years. Everybody was like, oh, look at them. Lamar Jackson's terrible. Oh, he hasn't done nothing since his MVP year. Yeah, because they didn't pay him to do that.
Right.
And the reason they didn't pay him to do that is because they were building something while they had him.
Mm-hmm.
Likewise with the Browns. Oh, look at Deshaun Watson. Oh, everybody would have been a fool to get that guy. No, TD is still right. Even if he would have had to serve time in jail for whatever, you still put him on and get him on in the house and put him on the contract. So you got him 4 years from now because the guy is an athlete.
Yeah, is anybody sitting around not thinking Cleveland's going to have a chance next year the way they played this year without him? I mean, come on.
Right. And it's almost a shame for them because, almost rather them had just carried out the tank because then they'd be able to get another wide receiver for Deshaun Watson. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the situation that, teams, face when they throw the bag at a guy who they're pretty sure is going to be it. And they're like, okay, look at the Bengals. The Bengals are going to be able to be drafting high with their guy.
Yep.
Good point.
They could be looking
and
at
by the way, listen, if Dan Campbell before the game listened to The Gambler by Kenny Rogers, he would have known when to hold them and when to fold them, and they would have won to the Super Bowl. But that's neither here nor
That
there.
is definitely true. By
Right,
the way,
right.
That would've been a better game.
And whatever injuries now, and rust that Deshaun Watson had to work through. While all that's going on, their fans are not crying about it, and they're having losing seasons while finishing out the man's contract. Like by the time Deshaun Watson is able to be at full speed again with a decent team, they're not going to owe him very much more.
That's a good point too.
And you think their fan base is crying? Have you heard the Cleveland Browns startup spaces and fire up YouTube channels to complain about Deshaun Watson lately?
Nope. It's by the wayside,
'Cause they
bro. And
know.
by the way, look at Houston. They moved off a quarterback who maybe wasn't a fit for them because they didn't want to pay him. They had a falling out, whatever. He goes to Cleveland. Cleveland's in a good position, but look at Houston. They're in a good position. Even the Niners, I don't think Purdy's that dude, but they moved off a guy they knew wouldn't be great. Look at Chicago. They're going to move off a guy because, like, you got to be willing to say this guy isn't the guy and make a move.
Right.
Or Tua might be the guy because it's hard to get the guy, but then you're going to pay him what the market makes sense for and what the team can afford while still bringing in other talent. You can't just throw the bag at him. You can't will him to be the guy by paying him like the guy. That doesn't work.
And you know what? We had a coach.
That's Pascal's wager.
Mm-hmm.
In effect, that's. I don't believe, but I'm going to act like I do until I do believe, because the process of acting like I believe is the righteous thing to do.
Right. What were you saying, G?
We had a coach that told our GM that he wasn't the guy. You know what the Niners did? Kyle Shanahan went to the owner and told him Brock Purdy's the best quarterback on their roster. Did the 49ers owner fire Kyle Shanahan? No. But we have a coach, and Brian Flores, yes, to a geeks. I still hang on to Brian Flores. Come at me. He's told Greer, I don't know if he told Ross, that Tua's not the guy. I want Watson. I want Lamar. And they told him to F off. You're fired. And we got McGeek. We got to stick it to him. And it's a shame. It's a slap in the face to us fans.
Hey, Cat for Life, you coming on next, brother. Just hang
That
tight.
slapping the fans that some fans, we still, 4 years in, we have fans out here still saying Tua's not the guy. Or half the fan base saying Tua is the guy, half the fan base saying he's not the guy.
Which is just crazy. It's true. It's true.
And I think there's about 10 quarterbacks, none of them being Tua, that would have been with San Francisco's team the other night that would have actually beat that KC team. Mahomes or no Mahomes.
I can see it. This KC team was not the best team this year, bro. Period.
Wasn't. I'm surprised they won a Super Bowl. I've been saying, how did Kansas City get to the Super Bowl?
So again, here's where the fallacy of bringing up other quarterbacks rears its ugly head, which is why I don't do it, because people have already tried and it shut down the conversation right away. Oh, Brock Purdy. Oh, he ain't the guy. No kidding. He's trash too. But that's arguing over scraps. You know what I mean?
You're right. Yes, and they do that all the time, bro.
All I know is, listen, I'm happy. I like the Kansas City Chiefs because they constantly knock Buffalo out of the playoffs, which is my Super Bowl. So there you go.
My dad likes the Chiefs now because he knocked the Patriots out of the record books. Now, when they say the first team to win back-to-back, they're not going to say the Patriots. They're going to say the Chiefs. That's why my dad was happy when the Chiefs.
That's my Super Bowl, watching the Buffalo Bills get knocked out of the playoffs.
I know this shit. All right, Color, we're gonna bring up Cap because I'm gonna wrap it up the show.
All righty, guys.
My brother always
remember
everybody.
Up, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Patrick Mahomes it bleeds. He is not a construct of the Matrix. He can be beaten, and you just got. I mean, hey, you don't have to beat Patrick Mahomes to win the Super Bowl when you're an AFC team. So you got to be ready for the chance that either he can be beaten, like this year. I think their team was, now granted, credit to Spagnuolo, but still, 49ers had opportunities to score the other night and put that game away pretty early, and they didn't do it. That has nothing to do with Patrick Mahomes. So keep
You're
that in
right,
mind.
bro.
Keep your heads up, everybody, and
Keep your head
keep
up.
your peduncles down and your fins up, man.
All right, brother.
Yeah,
I'll
fins up,
talk to
baby.
you soon. I'll stop over the tailgate too.
All right,
brother.
guys. Have a good
Talk to you
night.
soon.
The
Later.
Chiefs are just like the Patriots. They lose to these trash teams, the Chiefs in the regular season, but they don't care. They know they're going to the Super Bowl. Patriots would lose to us. We'd be celebrating, but they know they're going to the Super Bowl. I wish we
I agree. Cap, what's up, my brother?
Hey,
Cap.
Larry, man, what's going on, man? I haven't talked to you in a
Yeah,
minute,
Cap
man.
Life almost got me fired today.
Good to hear from
Bro,
you.
that was a great debate, bro. Me and Shake went at it today, bro. It was.
I was in the store. I was in the store yelling, and I had to leave the store. And one of the people was like, "Damn, I never seen you go off like that. What was that you were talking about?"
That's passion, bro. That's
What are you
passion.
arguing about? The Dolphins? You guys are flipping out at each
Bro,
other?
this isn't the first time. It's not the second time, and it won't be the last time, bro. We're like locked in this for life, bro. This is the life of a roller coaster of emotions that is this Dolphin team, bro.
Oh, you're right.
It is what it is, bro. I mean, look, man. It is. I don't know what to say at this point, man. Everybody's saying we're Swiss cheese. Nah, we got to fill gaps here and there. It is what it is, man. As long as we have a better record than last season, I mean, that's all we ask for at this point, man. You can't go
Do you
back.
think we can do it, Cap? I mean, what's your thoughts on the whole situation? Turning over the defense, the salary cap. I mean, what's your thoughts? What do you think next year? What do you think is going to happen?
I got to see if they take care of Waddle. If they take care of Waddle, then that's a whole new conversation. You know, you got your offense coming back. Do you go after a third receiver? Do you commit to a tight end? I mean, we know as a team, we know what our weaknesses are, and I think a lot of people are starting to notice that too. So if we go in draft position, you don't think there's going to be a team like Denver, like always getting in front of us on purpose just to take away our need? Like, I don't know, man. Like, do we go draft? Do we even depend on the draft with the amount of draft picks we have? I think we got 6. That's it. Do you trust Greer to get free agents? Do you trust Greer to get O-line? I mean, the big debate we were having, me and Shake and everybody on the Spaces today, was like, I thought we were committing on this year as being the year, but now everybody's content about moving the window and the goalpost to another 4 years, which is fine. Like I said, we're in it to the end, but shit, like I thought we got rid of the nonchalant breaking the cycle of, every 3 years and every 8 years having to change staff and having to put coaches in hot seats and having to question the owner. And I mean, it's just, I get tired of that stuff, man. I would think you guys do too, but hey, if you guys are like, okay, this year's not the year, let's just, all right. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, man, I would rather, I think it's complicated and they did it on purpose. When they switch coaches midway through a rebuild, they almost like cheated on the whole thing. Like, we're going to rebuild this whole thing from scratch. We're going to hire the guys we want, put them in place, and build the team from the ground up. Oh, wait, halfway through, we don't quite have the guys we need. So give us another reset and another 2 years on top of the 5 years we had. And what I think is, I don't have the answers. I'm not a GM. I don't get paid for it. I don't have enough patience to do it. I don't know what they should do. I like the staff. I like the coach. I do think, bro, that at the end of the day, with this roster built the way it was, with paying the defensive coordinator the highest of any DC in the league, with all these things, most people said, hey, it's AFC Championship game or bust, or at least at the bare minimum win a playoff game or bust. Now all of a sudden we lose a playoff game. And I understand we're fans. We're not going to stop watching, so you're going to rationalize it. But it's like, hey, we said where the goalposts were, now you want to move it. I'm not saying get rid of people. My honest opinion, my God's honest opinion is pay Tua lower than they're speculating they're going to pay him so that we can keep the guys around them. I'm not saying move on from them, but don't pay him the bag and cripple yourself.
Well, now they're saying that you have to give them the bag in order to save money, which is like, okay, all right. Well, I mean,
Cap, they got to give him a long-term deal to save money for this year, because otherwise he's a $25 million cap hit. But they don't have to give him the bag to save money. They just got to give him a contract long-term. And even if it's 30 mil, 33, 35 mil, it's still affordable and long-term and saves us money. But if you're talking 50, high 40s, we're crippling ourselves.
You need to a dead year where you can move off to him and you don't.
Something that can get us out. Exactly, Greg. Something that gives us an out.
Good
Maybe
point.
after year 2, if you give them a 4 or 5, something that, hey, that helps both sides, will give you what you need and what you deserve. Because honestly, that's one thing, regardless of what our thoughts are, our opinions are, like his draft class got paid, so he deserves to get paid.
Because
You cannot say he doesn't.
I heard a rumor that is BS, which I'm calling BS. There was a rumor out there that the Dolphins are skeptical of playing Tua, knowing his record against winning teams and his ability to play in cold, which is what you're going to need. Something along those lines. So if you're going to pay Tua, you got to have at least a dead year. If that rumor is indeed true, you got to have a dead year so you can move off and then go try something else.
That's a good point, bro. I agree with that.
Yeah, a win-win for everybody. But, at this point, this too shall pass, man. We always go through this every year, guys. Unfortunately, we know what's going to come the next 6 months. And people don't want to hear it, man. But, I mean, look, all you have to do is not lose, and you won't hear the crap.
Yes.
It's not our fault that we have to repeat the same stuff. But at the same time, we have to hear the same stuff from everybody else. And it's like the positivity stuff after a while, the propaganda wears off, man. It's just, give us what we want, and that's depth at this point. And that's it.
And you know what, Cap? It's like I'm not even somebody who's going to pound my feet, and get all mad if we don't make the moves I want. But to your point, bro, I'm sick of just stop feeding me nonsense. Stop trying to make me look over here when I know it's over. Just keep it real.
Yeah, bro. I was talking short, bro.
I
was telling Greg earlier. It's like, look, I know the WWE's, fake and whatnot, but it's entertainment, and people, they grasp the pulse of the fan base. You're in a day and age where social media and the NFL is taking advantage of all these streaming networks, which is social media an aspect where you're going to take the profit, but you're not going to listen to the fans. And it's like, all right, fine, you won't do that. You're the powerhouse. That's fine. But you would think what's needed moving forward. And right now it's like, all right, well, you're hearing the fans talking about the uniforms. People are not happy with it, but you're going to have people force that uniform. And you see the New York Jets having the okay to change
they're going
uniform.
back.
Yeah. So it's like, dude, give us something at least, man. Give us something.
Good point. Yeah, bro. Good point. Give us.
Well, Dan Marino said right now that Ross isn't leaving.
Exactly.
Goes back to the money aspect. Yeah. He gets 2 uniforms now.
So it's like marketing takes over winning, and stats take over Super Bowls at this point.
That's why I just don't like this owner, man. And I know it's pointless to debate it because it's not like we can get a new one. I understand. I don't like the dude. I don't like his leadership. I think when he's gone, we're gonna have a whole new culture. I just don't like him, bro. I don't think he values the right things. I don't.
Well, this too shall pass, fellas. Just wanted to show some love out there, man. Just don't stop doing what you're doing, man. We're gonna need more and more, venting days, because it's we got a lot of people out there that just, this is all we got, man, is us.
Hey, by the way, I always love you, Cap.
I appreciate you a lot, my brother.
Man. Jake, you my man, bro. Regardless of what happens, bro. Same thing with Batman. I be getting on Batman hard. I get on Batman real hard.
Oh man, Batman! I told Batman anything of him short slapping my mama. I always got love for Batman.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, everybody here too. Everybody in the chat. Everybody, bro. Man, we just we gotta roll with the punches, guys. Unfortunately,
man. You know me. I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I'm always looking for the positive. Listen, next year, if we have a bad season, guess what? I love tailgating. I'm gonna find some good cheap tickets. There you go.
Nah, bro, and you always showed up to the channel too, one of the first dudes. So we appreciate you. We're not going anywhere this offseason. We're gonna keep it real. We're gonna keep it live, and we're gonna keep doing what we do, brother. So I appreciate you a lot.
We appreciate you, man. You guys have a good night, man. And we'll talk tomorrow, man.
Later, brother.
Yo.
So this was another show. It was the season finale show. I'm tired now, and that's about all I could give you today. But listen. Me and the fellas are going to talk. We're going to get the off-season schedule lined up. We're going to come back real soon with an off-season schedule. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be live and direct. I'm going to have my podcast frequently. We're going to talk about things you guys told me. I didn't forget them. I have them written down. I have them written down right here, actually. And you guys said you want to talk about the salary cap. You want to talk about free agency. You want to talk about Greer and the Ross and the timeline. All that happened. You want to talk about the draft. We're going to do all those things this offseason. Shake Money's going to have In the Blender Season 2 coming up. We're gonna have other content for
Yeah.
you as well. I got a crazy idea that I already told Shake about. We got to figure out the logistics of rolling that out, the time slot, this and that. Gee, you know what I mean? He's going to crush ice cream in your face. We're not going to make that go away. So we're going to figure out a way to keep this all going. So we appreciate you.
Larry.
Look, real talk, I appreciate you guys for another.
Yeah.
Another
So the first episode of In the Blender will be in March. I'm gonna have Nene is gonna be on there.
Dope.
Now these are the guests that I know. Nene, Mr. Negative. I spoke to Miss Fins, EM Dolphin fan, and trust me, there's gonna be some other people that
I love it already, bro.
Yeah. So good seeing you too, Scott Jackson. Oh man, trust me. And one of my biggest whales, if you will, is the biggest whale of guests that I'm trying to get on here is the CEO of Dolphins Den, Tory Day.
Oh,
that's my Moby
Dick. Get him live, bro. Listen, so In the Blender's coming, man. Get hyped for it. We have some other things coming for you. It's going to be a lot of fun, but I really do appreciate you guys. We weathered the storm where Greg, I'll let you talk too. We weathered the storm where I was demonetized for a little bit. We got back on the ball. I want to thank too, G, Shake, Lucci, everybody, everybody who's always around, who's always supporting, all the members of the channel who officially joined, all the subscribers. You are more appreciated than you realized. You helped us weather the storm. You're helping this channel grow. Like literally, the reason that I'm coming back for off-season content is because of you guys and your support, from becoming members, from donating with the super chats, from talking, from just showing love and showing up in the comments when we're live and just giving us viewership. You're the reason this channel's growing. You're the reason we're able to provide you this content. And it really is deeply appreciated, despite what the Dolphins do to us. I truly appreciate you guys. And remember, this is a working man's podcast. We have day jobs. We bust our asses. We come on here for you guys, and we're happy to be here because you guys make it worthwhile. So I sincerely appreciate it. The off-season's coming. We're not going anywhere. You might, see us a little sporadically or not much for the next couple weeks while we figure everything out, but don't go anywhere. We'll be here, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to more members-exclusive content. G, what's up?
So I was going to say, again, I was talking about my sports podcast I'm doing. We were going to start it up during the Bulls season. We were both busy. We were going to start it up in January. I'm going to have to talk to them. We might start it up for March Madness, NFL free agency. And I think I'm going to try. We might, because I don't have to work Friday. I'll have to work Thursday. But maybe Friday for the tournament, we might do a watch-along type thing. We might do a watch-along during the draft. We're going to do probably some mock drafts and that thing. Looking forward to it. I got to talk to him, see what he's about. And then I want to leave you guys with my final thought about the Dolphins. I'm telling you, man, we have a problem, all right? And I'm giving you my solution. What I would do, get more picks. But we have a problem in Miami. There are rich teams. Then there are average rich teams. Then there are below average rich teams. There's then 50 feet of dirt. And then there's the Dolphins.
My God. I get it, bro. I really do. So, guys, we love you. Stay tuned for all the off-season content. Carrie D, we love you too. Everybody, you're much appreciated. We'll be in here, and we'll be in here soon. So, looking forward to spending more time with all of you guys throughout the off-season. Really looking forward to all these shows and all this content we have. Thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for always being loyal viewers. Fins up, Larry K and the boys out.
It's tour time.
I know you heard me on the radio flexing. She loves the sound of my voice, it's the best thing. Daydreaming of the jazz all day. Pick up the phone late night with Larry K. I know you heard